Act requests based on solicitor-client privilege, right? And so it all went to court and it all got overturned. Basically, the Department of Justice lost, right? And this legislation basically overturns that court decision because it inserts provisions whereby that court case will never happen again. But in any case, so there were 14 cases that piled up while all of these court cases were being fought. And this will tell you about the flaws in the current system and the system we're going to see, because people were looking for information. And of the 14 cases that had piled up because there was purported solicitor-client privilege, most of them, there was no solicitor-client privilege, Mr. Ring, the Information and Privacy Commissioner says. That did not exist. And in addition to that, some of the information that was purportedly under the veil of solicitor-client privilege was actually information that was available to the public. There was one collective agreement that was available to the public. There was one human resources policy manual that was available to the public. And in one case, the person who had filed the Freedom of Information Act request, well, the letter that person actually wrote to the government was taken out of the file because that person wasn't allowed to have access to that information. A letter they wrote themselves, they weren't allowed to have access to that because of solicitor-client privilege. I'm not making this up. Anyways, I wanted to share that. That's how ridiculous this actually is.
So I just want to encourage anyone else who has something they want to contribute, something they want to say, come up here and have a go. Here you go.
Hi guys, you can hear me. My name is Nathan Whalen, I'm 18 years old, and last fall I actually became interested in, pursuing accountability with some educational bodies. I was really involved back in high school and I kind of got a little bit more interested. So I went and I found out about this access to information request. So I filed 3 of them. And when I did, I think that every single person here should go and file an access to information request if you don't understand how the process works. Because it is extremely frustrating. I was quoted, this is something that isn't talked about very much, but right now, before this bill, it was $15 per hour and 2 hours were free. Now it's $25 per hour and 4 hours are free. Steve Kent, sometime this week, actually tweeted about this, and he said that these fees were not meant to be prohibitive. However, they actually are. I work a full-time job because I'm working over the summer, but I'm a student. I was quoted that it would be approximately $600 for me to get the piece of information that I requested. A piece of information that would now cost me nearly $1,000 for me to get access to, because it would take someone apparently a whole work week to compile the information. It's something that is extremely prohibitive to the average person who wants to get information that may not be looked upon by other members of the opposition. This is a team effort here when we're looking at the democratic process. Individuals are a part of that democratic process, and we need to all go through that process more and more, and access to information requests are a great way to do that. So I just want to share that with you. Thank you.
Anyone else want to share a few words? You're welcome to come up. We'd love to hear what you have to say.
Anybody from the Conservative government here today to speak?
Where's Kathy Dunderdale?
Paul Lane,
Think about this bill!
Can you hear us?
Where's Kathy Dunderdale?
And yeah, she's in Alberta right now dealing with something else I found out. I'm sick and tired of this government. I'm a Canadian citizen of Canada. I don't care what province I'm from. I love wonderful people, but I'm sick of corporate greed. I'm sick and tired of this house of lies up here and all that stuff. It's just sickening. People are losing their jobs, losing their houses, and you get these rich CEO idiots out there. I'm not trying to use foul language. It's just garbage. People need to stand up. That's why we have these Occupy movements. I'm just going to give it another couple of years. This place is going to be a police state very soon. Thank you.
All right.
Anyone else want to say a few words? You're totally welcome to come up.
I should come back on Monday when the house is open. Yes. At 1 o'clock again, so that they see them when they're coming into the house. Yeah!
I just want to, in that spirit, I want to encourage people to actually go to the House of Assembly debates and sit in the gallery, because your presence does make a difference.
Are we allowed to heckle like what Matt did?
But even if you look at these people and you glare at them, it makes them embarrassed, it makes them angry when you laugh at their nonsense. You know.
Hi everybody, my name is Thomas Jordan. I won't elaborate much on what was said here today, but I would like to say that people holding signs and coming to stairs and chanting slogans is not enough. You got to take this to your kitchen table, you got to take this to your community centres, you have to take it to your friends. Due diligence is going to be required to change this. Government ought to fear the people, people not ought to fear the government. Until that role is reversed, this will get worse. Dale touched on it. The direction we're heading in is in the direction of tyranny. Freedom is a very new idea. Tyranny is the oldest idea that exists. We can lose this faster than we gained it. It's up to us. We can't depend on the 2015 government. We can't depend on any single party. The people have to be more involved, to take control of their own destiny, to be so dependent on other people to take care of us, to ensure that our needs are met. To have blind trust in people is not going to work. It's never ever worked. We have to take accountability for our own actions, our own lack of action at times. We can't always point the finger and blame it on the Conservatives or the Liberals or the NDP. We have to be accountable for our own lack of action. So until we stand up and start to put the heat to these people, nothing is going to change. It's really up to us. We cannot depend on any elected representative to fully ensure our freedom. It's up to every individual who acts as a collective to ensure that we have and protect all of the principles that made this country and other free countries great. I saw my first meeting last week and I was absolutely disgusted. I have always been cynical towards politics. Nothing could have prepared me for what I saw that day. I left there literally physically shaking at what I saw. The lack of respect, the ignorance that I heard in that room. Felix Collins using comments like, or actually it wasn't Felix Collins, it was the Minister of Affairs, making a comment, you're like Stevie Wonder, to say that people are blind politically. How much more childish, disgraceful can we get? These people who act in that way are not only disgraces to themselves, this province and this country, but the entire human species in general, and that's all I'd like to say.
Goodbye!